yes, I want food freedom.
I'm gonna have an Oprah moment. You get food freedom! Hey everybody. Today we are meeting Hayley, someone who really hasn't had a diagnosis but struggled a long time with quite a few symptoms that we know and she knows is going to be leading up to a single or multiple autoimmune diagnoses. I'm excited to have you meet Hayley and to see what someone without a diagnosis that's literally sitting on the verge of multiple has done to turn around her autoimmunity. Hayley, I'd love for you to introduce yourself to everybody.
Hi, my name is Hayley. I'm 43 years old and I live in Florida.
Okay, so Hayley, before you joined this program, can you tell me a little bit about what were some of the symptoms or diagnoses you were dealing with?
So I didn't have an actual diagnosis yet. I went from, for years, having a positive ANA to right before the quarantine happened, having 3 different ANA patterns. And I was supposed to schedule an appointment with a rheumatologist so that they could look at the results of my latest labs.
So you're literally the classic case that a lot of people are in, where you're in that diagnosis conveyor belt, where you were just having more and more testing come back positive on the verge of a diagnosis or multiple diagnosis. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Symptom wise though, what led you on that path?
I dealt with GI issues, some stomach cramping, but a lot of brain stuff, a lot of mood stuff. So a lot of brain fog, memory issues, um, that sort of thing. So a lot of brain things is what my symptoms, in addition to some of the GI issues, but the most pronounced was brain.
You know, here's the thing, brain fog is not a small deal. I mean, and a lot of us minimize it, but yeah, a lot of people in the audience listening right now, brain fog, it could be and is their number one symptom. I would like for you to describe for us, what do you mean by brain fog? Like, what kind of impact did this have? What were you able to do, not able to do? What did you struggle with? So we can understand this better.
Um, Anyone who's had brain fog understands that it affects your day-to-day ability to move from seemingly very easy tasks with great struggle. So for me, even just something like having to get my kids ready in the morning for school was extremely challenging, like getting their lunch boxes together and really having to think about, each step, like, okay, I've done that, but it just being crazy difficult to do. And so when you've got 2 young kids and a husband and yourself, and you're trying to navigate through the day, and your brain is not working the way that you want it to, it makes everything feel like such a struggle.
What outcomes have you been able to achieve just in these 2 months? I know the outcomes continue over the next year, but in these 2 months, what are some of the outcomes you got so far already?
So I'm sleeping better. I've managed to gain weight, which is a huge, huge thing for me.
Mm.
Um, my brain is working better, so I'm feeling like those neurons are firing a bit more, more energy. So those right there are huge.
Ooh, how long did it take you to feel like your neurons were firing, your brain fog was starting to go away, and you were able to start functioning optimally with your kids? How long did that take?
I would say halfway in.
Four
Um,
weeks.
yeah.
What do you think was the biggest aha, that fastest thing that turned things around for you in our program?
So the food mapping was a huge thing because AIP does not permit potatoes. However, sweet potatoes are okay. And things like garlic and celery, things that we think of as healthy foods, well, it turns out that sweet potatoes were a no-no for me, and celery and garlic. So these are things that I was incorporating on a regular basis
Yeah.
into my diet.
How many weeks after removing some of these quote unquote healthy foods that you found out was triggering your autoimmunity? How long did it take after eliminating them? Did you notice symptoms changing?
I would say it took a little more than 2 weeks.
Oh, so long.
Um, I know. Yeah, not bad, not bad at all.
How much stuff were you able to add back in as a result of this
Oh
day?
my
Inquiring
gosh,
minds want to know.
so many things. I started, eating quinoa again and some rice and, some of the other carbs that I absolutely love, that I hadn't been eating. So it's been very, very nice.
Okay, damn it. Girlfriend, this is what I call food freedom.
That's right, food freedom.
I love it.
That phrase really just, I was like, yes, I want food freedom.
I'm going to have an Oprah moment. You get food freedom.
I absolutely did.
I love it. Next question I have is what's something very surprising about the program that you didn't expect? What was something shocking about the program you didn't expect that turned out to be a big deal?
Um, Community. Um, a lot of my family knows about my health issues, but it, it's hard to express to people how you feel. Whereas, sorry, having a whole community that actually knows how you feel is huge. So that was uh, me gravitating towards that and really feeling the benefits of it was not something I was expecting. So so yeah.
Hayley, this really highlights, I mean, honestly, my own journey and my own story as well, which is that even as a physician coming down with a mystery illness and no diagnosis for a decade, was that it was a very lonely journey.
Very
And
lonely. Very lonely.
and I would say that for anybody who's not in our Facebook group, we have almost 30,000 people in our Facebook group now, which is Transform Autoimmune Disease Naturally. Join the group and start experiencing the community. But in our program, it's like community on steroids. Um,
Yeah.
and tell me, like, what did the community? How did community look like to you? What was it that was like, wow, I found it, and this is something I didn't even know I was missing.
Um, well, I like that we had our own individual groups. I've relied a lot on my pod mates and we're all in the alumni group now, but we are still doing our weekly meetings with each other. So, and it's something that we all want to continue doing. And um, just everybody sharing, being really vulnerable, and that's not always easy for me. So it's reassuring when other people show that side of themselves.
Yeah,
Um, it's
yeah.
just I feel like a lot of us are used to trying to do things on our own. I'm certainly one of those personalities where I don't want to burden other people, and so it's just nice when other people get it. You don't, it doesn't take a whole lot of effort. You say brain fog, you say depression, you say, stomach cramping, um, uh, food deprivation, people get it, they understand because they've
Oh,
been there.
yeah. You say hangry, everybody gets it.
Exactly. I just want to eat without worrying about what I'm eating.
I have another question.
Yeah.
What's something you learned about Hayley that surprised you, even you yourself?
Um, that that I can absolutely love myself, and do things for myself. Um, I'm used to looking for others to kind of show me um, self-worth and that I'm worth doing things for, but through the program and mindset, and the community, I've I've come to know that I'm totally worth it. So it's not just about doing things for my family, but it's about doing things for me too. And somehow I think as a mom, we feel like if we're not doing things for our kids and our family all the time, if we're taking things out, time for ourselves, then we're somehow selfish. But it really is true that if you're not well, then you can't be there for your family. So it's absolutely important to focus on you and to take care of you, because you're kind of worthless to the people that you love if you're not in a good place.
Okay. Well, thank you for spending this time with me and sharing this with our audience and being vulnerable and real. Thank you so much, Hayley. That was awesome. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Maggie. I appreciate it for allowing me the platform and opportunity.
I hope you enjoyed that interview with Hayley as much as I did. And I think her story really pinpoints the fact that, you know, a lot of us are sitting without a diagnosis and waiting for diagnosis. And I actually tell people that I hope she never gets a diagnosis, not on her watch, not on my watch. And also in the meantime, even if you have a diagnosis, whatever those symptoms are, there is a root cause approach that works. And clearly here with food mapping, Hayley was able to achieve food freedom, being able to get rid of her elimination diet, add in a whole lot more foods, and actually gain some healthy weight. And then on top of it, surprisingly, she gained community as a major tool. And mindset work in our program was surprising for her. I hope you enjoyed this. And if there's somebody in your life that you know could benefit from hearing this about this interview and what Hayley has to say about autoimmunity and turning it around, share this with them. They may not want to hear it from you, but they may want to hear it from Hayley or from me. So share it. And if you want to learn more about our program, you can go to drmaggieyu.com and join our Facebook group, Transform Autoimmune Disease Naturally. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you click subscribe to our channel and get the notifications when we do have a new video premiere. Thanks a lot.
Lupus, lung fibrosis,
Hashimoto's thyroiditis,
fibromyalgia, AS, which is a form of arthritis,
that's too far,
extremely fatigued,
pretty much zero joint pain.
Much more happy.
I don't have brain fog anymore.
how much weight I have lost.
I want to say remission.
Maggie and her approach is very different than the traditional doctor.
I'm a totally different person.
Got a better understanding of what those intolerances were.
You're not alone.
The community is, I'm learning from everyone else's issues.
It's not just helped me, it's helped my entire family.
We are transformed.
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 Join the movement and transform your autoimmune naturally today.